this. I started off in Rebel. I started off a fiend, a PC gaming fiend, and I was pretty cringe. My setup was cringe, and you're just gonna cringe when you see this thing. It's not good. Today, I actually picked up this GPU, the 1650, and it made me think, like, the very first GPU I ever had was a GTX 1650. It wasn't this necessarily AIB. Mine was the Gigabytes one you see here, the 1650 WindForce. It was GDDR5. We can look at the specs right quick. GDDR5, 128-bit, not even 1,000 CUDA cores, guys. So this thing is pretty weak, very, very weak. I got mine for 130 off Newegg though, so not too bad. But I mean, this thing's performing like a RX 6400 or an RX 470, around GTX 780 levels. So like way back. That GPU came out. When did that come out? In 2013, guys. So flagship 2013 performance we have here. But hey, I got it for 55 bucks. I'm gonna pop it in an Optiplex and sell it for 350 bucks. It'll cost me 190 to make. So mega profit, close to 200% margin, I think, on that one. But yeah, that's besides the point. That was the very first GPU I had, and I thought it was amazing, guys. Like, I was coming from an Xbox One, 30 FPS in every game, and then we got on there, turned it on low settings, you get 100 plus FPS. Like, wow, I was cooking. And honestly, the image quality looked better than Xbox One. It was 1080p, so Xbox One was like 720. I liked it. I thought it was cool, and I didn't see the reason to upgrade for a while. It was kind of interesting, because I fought for that, like the budget for that PC. This PC, I paid $670 for it after tax and shipping, around $600 before all that. And I gotta say, like, I wasn't feeling like I was a peasant. Looking back, I was. Like, my setup was horrible. Let's just go ahead and look up my setup right quick. This was it. All right, guys. So it's pretty nasty. Like, as you can see, I have duct tape behind my monitor just in case something breaks. We're gonna duct tape it, overclock your CPU, slap some duct tape on there. You'll be okay. Wires everywhere, miscellaneous wires. And then here's the thing. Back then, I didn't have like a dedicated desk like I do now, much less like any space whatsoever. My room was like a closet back then. I lived with my parents all the way. That was like 5.5 years ago, so it was a while ago. I had something called a lap desk, and if you don't know what a lap desk is, it's pretty great actually. It was really comfortable. I just leaned back in my chair, squeak incoming. I leaned back in my chair, put the lap desk on my lap, and then I move my mouse and keyboard like this, leaning back, and yeah, I played like that. And I gotta say, it was comfortable, but man, this is jank, dude. So jank. Like, if I wanted to watch a video, I'd set it down, and then I wouldn't be able to access anything. If I wanted to click off the video, I'd have to move over to the little lap desk area and change all that. So really jank. Cheese grater PC down there on the bottom, just miscellaneous things sitting around. But at this point, I took this picture in pride. That's the funny thing. I took this picture because I was happy with this setup, and I had a new chair at this point. We'll get back to the chair. But yeah, I got a new chair, and I thought, oh, I'm going to show it to my friends. But yeah, so I was happy with that setup. That PC cost me $670, and we can talk about the PC specs right quick, actually. It was a Ryzen 2600X. Okay, so, not the best for 2019, but it was about a generation behind. A 1650, the one we just talked about, 480 gigabyte SATA SSD, 1 terabyte hard drive, which I would never do that now unless it's like bulk long term. B450 motherboard, 16 gigs of DDR4, and a 650 watt gold EVGA. And I kind of overspec'd my power supply, which now I would have spent less on the power supply and more on the GPU, less on everything and more on the GPU actually, knowing what I know now. But hey, back then I was happy with it. Cost me $670 total, around $600 before tax and shipping. And I built it myself. Hey, I was proud. And we can just kind of take a look at it here. This is what it looked like on the inside. No cable management because there was no room. This case was absolutely garbage. That Cooler Master, we just call it the cheese grater PC. It was really bad. Yeah, so, but hey, I was happy with it, guys. I was happy. And I just gotta say, like, who are these people in the comments saying you got to spend at least $1,000 for a PC? You got to spend at least $2,000 on your whole setup. Like, it doesn't make sense, guys. You can make this work, especially if you're buying used for much less than that. And I was way happier with this than I was on console. I could do all my COVID schoolwork. I could do all my gaming, all video recording, everything on here. And it was just way better. Just look at this picture, bro. Does this picture not feel nostalgia with your mind and just in your brain? I was on an Xbox 360 controller on PC, and I thought it was such a cool thing at the time. I'm like, wait, you can do that? You can do both? You can use controller on PC? I'm a mouse and keyboard player. This was actually for a challenge back in the day. We were using controller for a challenge, kind of to cripple ourselves and kind of test out aim assist and all that. But I thought it was cool, and I just had my blanket, sitting back with a controller, and on PC. So I was happy with this setup, guys. That monitor there, we were playing Destiny 2, by the way, which used to be a GOAT game. That monitor there, my first monitor was 1440p, 144 hertz. And that might seem kind of like higher end, especially for 2019, but it was a 10 panel, which the image quality on this thing was so bad, guys. The contrast, everything, it just had like an orange film over it. I hated it. And I would have rather got a 1080p, honestly. I got that monitor for $200, and I thought it was a good deal back then, but honestly, nah. So yeah, everything was good. We were chilling out with the gaming setup one night, and I got a little bit too rowdy. I had a little bit too much fun, leaned back really far in a victory stretch, and boom, my chair blew up. The chair that had served me through gaming for almost probably 6 months by now, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe closer to a year. And yeah, so I was pretty devastated. I even edited the picture and made it look more dramatic, sent in my Discord. I was laughing stock, but hey, it happened. Okay, so I got the big idea: duct tape. Yeah, that's right. You weren't seeing that coming. Duct tape can be your friend, man. Your CPU's overheating, your CPU blew up from over voltage, 13, 14 gen. Just get some duct tape on there, put it on the pins, and you're gonna be good, okay? Duct tape your heat sinks down, duct tape your fans shut, and I think you're gonna be okay. That is top tier tech guru advice, so you're welcome. But yeah, this is what I did. I duct taped that bad boy many times, and it lasted me probably a few days or maybe a week, and boom, all of a sudden, it creaked back a little bit. I was eating ribs. As you can see on the floor there, I was eating ribs in disbelief as my chair was breaking before my eyes. That's how I was eating ribs. Most American thing ever. I like my meats. That's why my channel is called Silicon Steak. My favorite food is ribeye. And I love silicon. So just combine those two and boom, that's why I'm Silicon Steak. Besides the point, my chair had broken at this point. And hey, I'm still a happy camper. I still got my PC gaming setup all for under $1,000 easily. And this is months and months after I bought all this stuff and bought my PC gaming setup, and I had been enjoying it for a while. So you know what I do? I buy a new chair. Exactly, we're coming full circle back to our setup. I buy a new chair, and this chair is glorious. It's a $100 chair. I still have it. It's in my storage now. I have a Serta now, and this thing loves my back. I freaking love this chair. But this was a $100 chair off Amazon. I liked it for a few years and it was great. And like I said, I took this picture in pride because I thought I upgraded my chair, I upgraded my setup. And that's the fun thing, guys. We're in PC building, not only for the more frames and not only more for like the bragging rights, but we're in it to have fun upgrading and tinkering, guys. So how are you going to do that if you buy all the best stuff right off the bat? Number one, it's going to cost a lot of money. Number two, it's just not going to be as fun because you aren't going to have anything to look forward to. If you're watching my channel, you're probably like new hardware. You're probably looking forward to new releases. And if you already have the best stuff, it's not going to be as exciting. So you don't always have to get the best stuff right off the bat, guys. You can get a doo-doo chair, use it until it breaks, and then upgrade with duct tape, number one, then upgrade to a new chair. And hey, that was a fun upgrade. And then eventually I sold this PC. It all happened. I built it in 2019, in fall of 2019, and then I used it for a while. After almost about a year, prices went through the roof on all PC components because of COVID. So I listed this bad boy for $1,000. Remember, I built it for $600 before tax, and I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna list it, and Somebody offered me $850. I took it and I sold the bad boy for a profit, which I thought was a wild thing. I was like, wait, I could build this and sell it for a profit? It was my very first one. And yeah, the rest is history, boys. I do this weekly now. I build PCs and sell them, make profit, and use the profit to, number one, pay off my rent, and number two, get new upgrades for my system. And then I part out that, use it to build a new PC, and the cycle continues. But hey, that's just my thoughts. I don't think you have to get the very best right off the bat, guys. These people in the comments saying you need at least $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 for the best. Don't listen to them. Get what you can now and get a roll of duct tape and you're gonna be fine. For me, duct tape was my quirk. Duct tape was my kind of off weird thing that I had with my PC system. And now, you know, I probably have a lot of different weird things going on with my rig now. Maybe I can show you guys what my rig looks like and what my setup looks like now, going from rags to riches. But really, I went from the mud to console to rags with this setup and then to riches now. And you know, I have a 4080 now, 13700K, 64 gigs of RAM. Really, really good setup. And you know, just wanted to talk about this, guys. What kind of quirks do you have in your setup? Do you use baby oil in between your thumbs on your mouse to get the edge on your opponents? Did you train a hamster to run on a wheel to power your PC? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
The master of tech, ever review every spec, he's on deck. From GPUs to CPUs, he knows it all. No question too big, no detail too small. He's got the knowledge, he's got the skill.